Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Lynn Carey, and today I just wanted to discuss some of the stuff that's happening in the world. Lately, or recently, I should say, Secretary Kennedy and President Trump have been making some big announcements on exposing Big Pharma and the connection to the jabs, to certain medications, to autism. And when I opened my practice in 1998, I had a poster on my wall of a pregnant woman, and it said, if you wouldn't take drugs while you're pregnant, why would you take them afterwards? Because I really wanted to wake people up of how much overuse of medication we're using to fix all our problems and how much harm it's causing. In fact, in the 90s, there was actually a chart when I was in chiropractic school that said the third leading cause of death was medical malpractice, medical harm, the bad side effects. And I think the first was cancer or heart disease were 1 and 2. So they're all pretty much preventable. And I see today, I can't get over how Big Pharma can spend that much money on advertisements on TV and still make money, because there's only a small part of the benefit of the drug, and there's a long list of side effects that are actually worse than what your original symptoms were. And I've been studying that since chiropractic school as well in the 90s. And it just blew my mind how you go in with one problem, they give you another drug, and now you have 5 more problems. And I can't believe we accept this as normal, and that the Big Pharma makes this much money still and has such much control and power over us. And I have been seeing through the cracks of the matrix for the last 30 years, and to see it really come to this point where it's becoming known in the mainstream is truly amazing. But we have so much further to go. And it's all about us returning to our own sovereignty and becoming the source that we are. God is within us. And we're here to become master creators, to create our own heaven on earth. And as each of us wakens up to that higher consciousness within, the Christ consciousness within, and we start to live from that place, you transform your own world, your own life, and it becomes a ripple effect to other people. And that's how I started with chiropractic. I wanted to adjust people to them to remember who they were, to take their power back, to start to heal themselves and create the life that they want and live from a place of aliveness and purpose and joy. And what I saw is that most people were just using me as a crutch. They wanted to come in to get adjusted, but then they weren't doing the work on themselves outside of coming to see me. And it was very disheartening for me, because it's about learning to change your mindset, going from lack to abundance, from struggle to gratitude, and to implement things to make change to empower your health by trusting your body's wisdom, listening to your body more instead of running to the doctor for everything that you have, to learn to naturally heal before you take that drug. Let the cold run its course. Let the fever run its course, and do what the body's trying to do before you interfere with taking a drug, and you're just interfering with the body's process and causing more harm to the body. So all these things have been, really out of whack for a long time. And it's time for us to come back to our sovereignty. And I think about all the things that we consider mainstream, like just going to your pediatrician for a wellness check and all the jabs that they're putting in. I have to watch the things that I say because YouTube has taken down a lot of my videos. So I'm trying to speak in code. But they're going and filling these poor babies with all these poisons. And it's causing all these different harms. And it's also setting us up to have poor immune systems, so that when we're older, we keep getting sick, right? And that makes us dependent on Big Pharma. So it's all a trap. Even from I can't even imagine that we think it's normal to have a baby in the hospital. That's a place of dis-ease. I think we should have more home births and natural births. But people are so far removed from their bodies that they can't take, that connection's gone. Even like going back to breastfeeding versus formula. That formula has so much crap in it. So we're really setting ourselves up from the beginning to have so much harm. And even just think about so many of the matrix systems. So I think about, we praise a doctor for being a noble profession when they're listening to Big Pharma instead of really how we heal. They're taking insurance, which dictates how much money they get and how do they get paid versus what's the well-being of the person. I just don't find that those professions noble anymore. How about lawyers for car accidents and pain? I used to have lawyers call me for people who were seeing me as a chiropractor, and then they had a car accident, and I guess they got involved with a lawyer, and they wanted to know if I would testify in court. And I'm like, oh, I can testify. Can I also say all the times that that person came in just to get adjusted before the car accident? And they would click. I'm like, where is the nobility? Where's the integrity? We're doing things for money, not because it's right. Like, this is the crap. I can never buy into the system. I wouldn't take insurance in my office. I didn't want them dictating how I practiced. I didn't want to become a medical doctor. It was something new. Chiropractic was its own thing. But so many of my chiropractor friends sold themselves out to the insurance companies, into fear, into doing car accidents, all the crap, because mainstream supported it and they would get paid. I would never practice that way. And I've actually found more passion in creating a blueprint for people to create their desired life, becoming sovereign in their health freedom, creating healthy habits, owning their health, owning their mindset, getting rid of the limiting beliefs that create dis-ease in their body, and also studying money and cash flow and understanding how the rich create wealth versus the poor and middle class. It's so important to set yourself up in a different system. So all these things, it's about becoming your best person, flourishing, and creating your desired life. I am starting a group on October 10th to mentor, to create their desired life, really, especially this last quarter of the year, so that you create a foundation to really go into 2026 flourishing, all ready to go on fire, right? And really utilize this time of the fourth quarter of the year can be so powerful to start yourself off right for the new year. So if you're interested, put a message in the comments or email me. That's also in my description here on the YouTube. And let me know, and I can get you more information to see if it's a fit for you. I appreciate you watching today. I hope you're having an amazing day.